That's nice. I'm a fan. Until. Why, Varmilo? Why? So it is currently Saturday night of EVO week, August 2nd. And so obviously I've been at EVO, I've been doing a lot of filming. I may or may not be able to go see the Invincible devs tomorrow to go see about filming some stuff with them. But I realize it's been a long time since I've done an unboxing, and I really like unboxings. So I went over to Arcade Shock, and I picked up the Varmilo Kassai. Now this stick isn't out yet. The pre-orders are up right now on their website. It says that they'll be shipping out around mid-September, but I wanted to get this opened up and show you guys kind of what's going on with this product. And I splurged a little on myself and I got the Golden Cosmos edition, which I guess is like a limited edition one that they're gonna have for this run. So I went ahead and cut open the box so that I could go ahead and just open it up so that we could get the reveal together. Okay, so we got a lot of foam here. That's always a good sign. I love seeing the foam. It makes sure the product is safe. Oh, we're a box inside of a box. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this up to the camera here. So there's this. That's nice. Hope we got a good little reflection going on for my light there. That's nice. Let's get this out of the way. And I did get some additional goodies for buying it at EVO. I'll open those at the end. There we go. Look at that. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the plastic off. We got the trusty dusty keys. Go ahead and right along here. This kind of reminds me a little bit of a shoe box. Oh, okay. I don't know what this is. It just says keyboard artist. I thought this was part of the box, but it separates off. Okay, so we'll set that there for now. Ooh, that was a bad noise. Ooh. Apologize for everyone watching. It kind of feels a little bit like a shoe box. For anybody who's like got nice shoes, like it kind of feels like that. Had to loosen the lid a little bit because it was kind of suctioned on there, so I have not seen it yet. So it's time for the second box reveal. Come on, buddy. This is snug. I really love this boxing. Okay, we got more foam. Foam is always a good thing. I'm always happy to see foam. Wow, okay. So there's plastic on this right now, but you can kind of see it here. This is really pretty already. I'm already a huge fan of this. So it's in a plastic wrap. So this stick is metal, so it's extremely hefty. It's got good weight, good body to it. I think all the Varmilos are like that. At least the ones that I saw on the show floor were like that. Bam, look at that. The Golden Galaxy. And each of the buttons is like a different planet. So we got like the moon, there's Earth, all these other planets, the sun. So obviously you can see it here, it's got a handle. But it also has straps so that you can attach on little things to do straps with it. But let me go through the rest of the box before we go through this. Got the instruction manual, that's always good. Set that off to the side, we'll look at that in a little bit. What is this? Oh, it's a strap, so it came with its own straps too? I love it when Fight Stick comes with extra stuff. It's kind of like when we were doing the Hot U16 review, when it had all the extra art in it. I'm always a fan when there's extras inside of the box. Oh, this strap is really nice too, look at this. It's got the logoing on here. Love this. I would really like to see more fight sticks have straps attached to them. I know you guys have probably seen some of my strap mod videos. I'm always about these straps. It makes it easier when you're at events. Let's see what we got over here. What is this? What are these? These little hand warmers? But why? I mean, I'm not complaining. These are kind of nice. Look at this. Okay, I see you, Varmilo. I don't know, you're kind of, if the stick's good, they might be making a believer out of me. Okay. Okay. All right, now for the ball top. All right. I'm like slightly less impressed with this compared to everything else. Like it's been so spectacular. This is just like a regular ball top. I don't know, I was expecting to be like on fire or doing some crazy stuff at this point. It's still pretty though. Look at all the bubbles inside there. I am a fan of this. I am a big fan of this. I wonder if this is supposed to simulate anything? I don't know. So I turned off the shot and realized that this little piece of trash is not a piece of trash right here. I don't know if you guys can see that very well on the camera. It's another something. Oh, it's a wood ball top? Look at this. I think that's actually wood. Hold on. Yeah, they're making two different noises. Look at this. So I got two different ball tops. All right. So you know, I said I was like expecting this to be on fire or whatever. This is pretty impressive. Two different ball tops, a strap. Like, that's nice. Okay. I'm gonna dig through the box and make sure that there's nothing else hiding in here real quick. Okay, so there's nothing else hiding inside the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all this trash, and then we're gonna open up this weird little mystery box over here before we go on to the stick itself. Time to see what's inside the little box. Okay, let's see here. It's another set of buttons. This comes with two sets of buttons? Oh shit, and a bat top! Oh, these people are speaking my language. It's the constellations. Look, here, I got you guys. Let's see if I can get this. It's different star constellations. I mean, it makes sense that this is why they're calling this the Golden Cosmos, because we've got the star constellation buttons here, and then we have these guys, the planetary ones. Okay, I'm going to clean up this mess, and we're going to focus on just the stick, because there's a lot of good stuff going on here, and I want to make sure that I get to the stick here. So I came to a realization while I was looking around. I couldn't find the actual stick, and that was one of the bonus boxes that they must have given me. So we're going to go ahead and unbox these two little guys that they gave me, and then we'll get to the stick. So I'm going to move this out of my way. So for buying these at Evo, they gave me these two boxes when I bought the Varmilo. I should be specific, the Varmilo Kassai, because I was looking stuff up about this. Varmilo is a famous keyboard company, apparently. So be specific, it's the Kassai. I bought the Kassai, and they gave me these two boxes. I'm under the presumption that one of these might automatically come with it, because I could not find the stick itself in all the stuff that was included. So I had to pull the sticker off of it real quick. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Go ahead and pull this out. It's more buttons. It's more buttons. It's more buttons. So on further inspection here, this is Tai Chi buttons, I guess. And they come with like these extra little caps for different setups. I'm guessing that this must be like a keycap puller here. Yeah, or something like that. Because like I could see here. Alright, I'm inspecting things a little bit here. I think that this is a little further in the review, but there's two little holes inside these buttons here, and this looks like it's a key to twist these holes to access the inside of it, I'm assuming. We will get to that in a little while, because the manual definitely doesn't say anything about any of that. The manual is literally this one page. See right here? There is an app that goes with this, and I'll explain a little bit. I did do some reading on the buttons themselves and what's going on inside, but like, there's a lot happening here, and I don't see any manuals. I'm gonna go double check the empty box, because there seems to be a lot going on here. Okay, so I did not find any other manuals. I did find this, which is a warranty card. So this comes with a warranty. So I've never seen a fight stick come with a warranty before. Great. But I am so confused. I am so confused so far. Alright, now it's time for the other little box. I wonder if the joystick's in here. Nope, okay. So, you'll never believe it, guys. Guess what? It's more buttons. And I saw them selling these at Evo. They're poker chips, like for Evo. I think that they're special, like edition. They're special edition because they had a limited amount of them. But that's not a joystick. And while I'm excited to have these, and it looks like I have another one of these like weird keycap things, which I'm gonna have to experiment with, I don't know where my joystick is. So now we're back here with the stick. I did check this. I pulled this off. It's like a protector thing. This is in here, and it like you can see that there's the bevel for where the stick's supposed to clip into here. Right here, you see the bevel, but I don't really know where the stick is. So I'm gonna explore a little bit on this bad boy and kind of try and figure it out. There's this panel down here, so holy shit! Look at this. Look at this. It was under here the whole time. Okay, so I've been standing here for about the past like 3-4 minutes just looking at this. So here's what I figured out. Obviously, found our stick. Found that. We got that. But there's a bunch of other stuff happening right here. So obviously you get access to the stick itself right here, so that you can work on it. But there's like no other spots really to get in here, and there's like little beveled areas I think you could unscrew. I don't know if you can even see that on camera. There's like the paddings over top of it. But I don't know how you access the rest of this stick. So customizability could be a little weird there if you're trying to get into the stick itself. But they have storage here for extra buttons, like internally inside the stick. Like I think this might be more buttons right here. I think there's another button. Hold on, yeah. But they've got storage for 4 extra buttons inside of here. They've got extra like clear versions of the dust washer if you don't want it to have a gold dust washer. And another one of these like key things, which again I'm gonna have to experiment with because there's no instructions, but there's another one of those key things right here. This is very impressive, and this is magnetic. So I will have to experiment around with this a bit to see how like easily it comes off. There's this little plastic tab here which I don't particularly like. The stick feels so premium, and then there's this weird little tab that I am not a fan of. Kind of wish they would have just had like a divot or something here for me to put my fingernail into. But all in all, this is fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get the stick installed here real quick. Yeah, okay, it's just like the EX extension. It does the little like pull thing. So you pull here on the shaft and it releases the stick. And the stick's all metal too, even this washer, so... Hold on, I'm going to take off this pinky ring real quick. Set that there. Okay, so let's look at the stick in its entirety right now, and then we'll start fiddling with it a little bit. So it's got like the extra dip right here. So like it's like a design choice to have like this extra like little space around the top of it, which I really like. I think I've talked about it in the past where I always like where there's this little like handle like down like angled thing going on. This is how it is on the Quanba Obsidian. So I love this design choice. Obviously, you guys can see, at least for this gold version of it, it's got like a weird like matte texturing going on, but if you can see it, it's like patterned. So it's like doing like waves all throughout the stick a little bit. You obviously saw the bottom of it already with the really just sleek white padding. I don't even know if it, yeah, it is coming up on the camera. So this is the little tab I was talking about. I did check to see if I could take this off. It doesn't seem like it tears off or anything like that. And I don't see another way to get into this if this wasn't here. So this is very unfortunate in my opinion. But it is like not very noticeable, and I don't think it would get caught or bother me any setting it down my lap. But this pad feels awesome. So I'm sure it's going to sit on my lap very nicely. You can see here they've got like gamepad, keyboard input it looks like, and then a lockout in the middle right here. You can see it, so gamepad, lockout, and it looks like this is a keyboard, I think. And then obviously you have like your select buttons, start, guide. I'm not sure what all these actually do. I see update, reset. So we'll have to go see. I know that there is a program for this. So we'll have to go kind of like look at that and see what's going on with this. Another thing that's super obvious when you just look at this stick, the cord here is just kind of sticking out, which I don't like. I am not a fan of this. And I guess it's on some sort of like rotating thing because I can feel it like it's like, and then it locks in place and then you pull it again and then it releases it. So if that breaks, I don't 100% know how to get in there. I'm assuming again like these little spots where you could pull up the padding have screws. This does feel very weird. This is a strange design choice. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily bad, but it feels weird and not premium like the rest of this. This feels so premium, and this is like weirdly not premium. There's also looks like an extra USB-C cable here. I don't know if you can use this to play with, or if this is for updating and like doing that kind of stuff, because there is like updates and stuff that you're supposed to do to it that you can do through your cell phone or through your PC according to that manual that's over there. So this might only be for updating, which means this is your only option. That's not a bad thing, but I don't like that the cord's internal and there's no way for me to get to it. It's not on the same side as this thing. Like if I could just open this up to look at this, that would be one thing, but that does worry me if this gets stuck or if the cable goes bad. I don't know what we do about that. There's obviously screws here, and again there's these weird like spots that look like I can pull out the non-slip pad to like maybe reveal more screws, but I have no clue how we get back here. And then I'm pretty sure you already saw it, but it does come with its own built-in handle, which is absolutely sick. I am all about the built-in handle too, and it has a nice little like fold function, and it looks pretty good. Like I kind of like the design of like being able to see this here. This could be really cool to also hang like little keychains and stuff on, although it could maybe scratch up the metal. I don't know how like tough this metal is. I don't want to necessarily experiment with like its scratch resistance. I'm not about that right now, but kind of like I love having handles. Handles and the option for straps, which I already brought up. Godlike. Absolutely godlike. We need better portability for our fight sticks. We need it for when we're in events and stuff like that. I am tired of having to always carry a bag for just my stick. If I'm using the bag for other things like camera equipment, stuff like that, fine. But if I just need this guy, I don't want to have to carry a bag. Especially at locals. This is especially important at locals. Okay, now we're going to do a quick sound test. I'm going to have the mic up here, like near my head, so you guys can hear what it sounds like there, and then I'll put it on the stick itself. And you guys can hear what it sounds like on top of the stick. So this is up by my head. Now this is down by the stick itself. Now I'd like to give a little bit of perspective on the size here. So this is my Quanba Obsidian next to my Kassai. As you can see, the Kassai has a much smaller like body print as compared to the Quanba Obsidian, but they're roughly the same width. As you can see there, they're close to being the same size. They're almost the same weight. This is a little bit heavier, the Obsidian's a little bit heavier, but this is a comparable weight. So let's talk a little bit about button replacement. Something that's really important for you to know is that these are not traditional like Cherry MX switches or micro switches. These are some type of Cherry magnetic switch. I was looking online at the website and I couldn't quite get a straight answer as to what exactly they are, but they work off of like magnetic properties. So the bottoms of them look entirely different from like your traditional Cherry switches. Because of this, you're in a situation here where you're going to have to get buttons from them or find these types of buttons, which again, I couldn't really confirm what exactly they are, in order to replace these. Obviously, in my case, I got a shitstorm of buttons. But the traditional package that you would get would only come with these buttons, and it's looking like 2 extra buttons, which are the ones that were inside under that panel. Now, if these magnetic switches are anything like, say, a Hall Effects joystick, these probably will never break. That's sort of what the whole magnetic thing is supposed to be about when you're coming down to controllers. So I'm not 100% sure what the likelihood of these are to break. So let's go ahead and remove one of these. I'm going to show you how it's done. I went and I read through the manual that you could get off the QR code on the mini manual, and so I kind of have a good idea how it works now. First thing you'll have to do is you'll have to flip it over, grab that little plastic tab that we had earlier, like so, and fish out the little like button puller here. Once you have your button puller out, this is what it looks like. It's got 2 little prongs here. What you're going to do is you're going to go onto your remote and you're going to insert the prongs into these 2 little holes here. You'll shove them into the 2 holes and you'll turn it counterclockwise, lefty-loosey, until you feel it click out of spot. You couldn't really hear it. I felt it. I couldn't even hear it myself, and I'm in the room. And then you just kind of have to pry up the button. I actually used the key puller itself and tucked it underneath here a little bit and popped it out. Hold on there. So now the button has come out. And you can see here the way it's actually held in place is it uses like these little divots. So you're inserting into the divots and then twisting it closed. You can see here on the back side, this black part is, hold on, see if I can get that in there good. You can see right there where my finger is, that part's sliding into this divot here and then locking underneath it. And I grabbed out my phone flashlight because I really just wanted you guys to be able to see this as clearly as possible. You cannot put regular switches in here. It has a totally different setup here on the bottom. There's no extra prongs like you would with a regular MX switch of any type. There's just that single hole. Now, I'm not a keyboard warrior, so I don't know if this is like a common switch, but this is definitely not a common switch inside of a button. Like, we might be able to find these switches pretty easily, but attached to a button like this, I've never really seen it like that. So you may end up stuck getting new buttons from specifically just Kassai or Varmilo at this point. Now, reinstalling a button is super simple. We're going to take this, we're going to line up that one white bump with the hole in the center there. We're going to make sure to line up these little things on the side with the holes right here. And then I was actually able to kind of twist it most of the way with just my hand, but then you're going to clockwise or righty-tighty tighten the button back in until you hear a click and feel a click. And there we go. I have now installed one of the Zodiac buttons into my stick. I did go look on the Varmilo website. You can get 6 buttons for $6, but they're only black and white. Installing the button was actually fantastically easy. I wish all installs for buttons were this simple, but there is that scary drawback that I don't know where I would get other buttons like this if I wanted to get some sort of aftermarket button. I haven't ever seen buttons like this in a joystick. So I'm going to take a minute and hit some buttons and just see how it feels playing in training mode and kind of fiddling with it. Okay, I have some serious thoughts about this little guy. First, look at the vibe, kind of immaculate. I am very happy about that, except for this little guy here. This is a vibe, and I love it, and it feels so good on my shoulder because it has that nice heft to it. And obviously I've got the stick on there right now, but you can take that off, put that little keycap there so it's safe. My experience playing on the stick was phenomenal. Let me start there. These buttons are fantastic. It has a sound Denshi in it, so just a basic stick, nothing too special about that. The buttons are very unique in that they're using cherry magnetic switches, which means that the actuation point on them can actually be programmed into the buttons themselves using their software. So it's not like a traditional switch where it's got an actual physical actuator that you press the button down and it activates the thing. It's a magnetic switch, so it's can be changed. The point that it actually actuates at can be changed with software. This is PS5 native, it is PC native, and it does work on PS4. No Switch, no Xbox, but if you're kind of competing in tournament, those things don't matter. But if they do, no Switch, no Xbox. I don't know how much it really matters to everybody, but this strap feels super comfortable. I love the design of it. It's just, this is so cool. And look at this. It just matches so nicely. I'm a fan. Until. Physically playing on the stick and wearing the stick feels great. But there's a couple of big issues that I think I have with this. The first issue I had was a raw instinct. I went to pull out the cord and it dragged on the top of the stick. And this feels like the natural way to pull out the cord is to grab it and just pull it straight up. But you can't do that. It will slice the cord. The hole that this actually goes into is, the hole that this actually goes into, it's not unfinished, but it's just a round hole. There's no protector around this for the cord itself. So if you're sitting with it on your lap like so, and you're sitting here obviously, you grab this cord, you can't pull it very far out, so your first instinct is to pull up. But if you do that, you're dragging the cord against the chassis. And that's not good. Obviously they intended for you to drag down. You can see a little slot there, but that's not the comfortable feeling when sitting on your lap. You're pulling down doesn't feel right. You can pull out, but it just feels right to pull up. The second thing is when I pulled it out, I could only get it out a certain length, and I had to stop, wait for it to click, pull it out more, stop, wait for it to click, and then get it into my PlayStation. Which felt kind of silly. It just felt sort of silly. Not to mention, I just keep on getting more and more anxiety about what's going on in here for this wheel that must be holding this cord. If I'm going to be pulling this thing up and down pulling things up and down. If I'm going to be doing this a bajillion times because I plan to be playing with this stick for a long time, when's this going to give out? Because you're going to be using it a lot. It's the only way to use the cord. And I did confirm that this is supposedly just a data port according to the manual, which you have to get off the QR code inside the little mini manual. This is just a data port. I haven't attempted to use it to plug it into my PlayStation or my computer. In fact, one second, let me double check this real quick. No, it does not work. So if anything ever happens to this cord, you're kind of screwed. Because I don't know how to get in here. Now obviously I do a lot of modding. You guys have seen some of my projects, so I will get in here and I'll figure it out. But for somebody who maybe isn't a hardcore fight stick person who isn't trying to be all about that life, this is a huge problem. Now it does have the warranty, which is awesome. Again, I've never seen a fight stick have a warranty before, but the warranty is only a year long. I say this because like these kind of like little rolly wheels and stuff like that, they can last a pretty good amount of time. I mean, if you ever had one of those lanyards that like stretch out, they can last a pretty long time. But more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't know about all that. And once more, if you modify this stick in any way, it voids the warranty. I took the time to read the manual here, and it says it right here. Right there, I don't know if you can see it. Specifically says, no modifications. Do not attempt to modify the keyboard. Internal and components may still hold an electrical charge. La 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 la. But they must be performed by a qualified personnel. That warranty is voidable. So, if you're doing any sort of mod work that is not standard, you'll void your warranty. Now, all this is to say, this stick is really nice. I am a gigantic fan of this stick, except for this cord. I hate C-port cord things. I hate this more. This is the new big hate when it comes down to cords. Don't put my cord attached to the stick and in a little wheel well. I don't like that. And to be super clear, before I got to this portion of the video, I read the entire manual online. I read through that manual because I wanted to make sure there wasn't something I was missing, like I was when I was looking for the shaft of the stick. Like I was like, oh, is there some way to change this? Is this like a thing that's like part of like the customizability of it? No, this is just how this is. This is how this is designed. Now for me, if I decide to use this stick like in tournament or whatever, I am immediately modding this, which will void that warranty. This is not great. This guy hanging here is not great. If this gets pressed wrong, because again, this is a metal chassis, and while this is rounded out, if this gets like pressed wrong, I can already feel a situation where this cord could easily just be snapped or cut or messed up. You put this in a bag, this could just get screwed. Now again, you have the strap. What about the handle? Da, da, da. I travel. I go to Frosty Faustings, Combo Breaker. I travel out to events. I go like to locals and stuff and other places. This is going to end up in a bag. I'm not carrying this. Like, this is great for locals. This is amazing for locals. But like, and it'll be amazing when I'm at an event. But like getting to the event, if this is inside a bag, even if you have it sitting in your car and it gets like squished up weird, something could happen to this cord. One other thing that I think is of interest here is that the Kassai has its own software that you have to use on a computer or a phone. I didn't try to do it on my phone. I have my PC right here, but you can do it on your phone or your PC according to the manual. And if you aren't a big fan of having to deal with softwares like the GP2040 software or something like that, you may not like this because the software is actually easier to use than the GP2040 software. But it's still like an external thing that you have to access and a thing that you kind of have to deal with. The UI is really good. Like, it's got a great UI, but it's still like another thing you have to do, and you have to understand some things. Like understanding the actuation points and the different types of actuation. I was lost, honestly, and I do this stuff as like my main hobby. This is like something I absolutely love. Like, I was just like, what is all this? I don't quite understand it. So it would take more time for me to dig into to understand. And if you're not trying to do all that, well, what can I say? That's just kind of a thing that you might have to do with this type of stick. The vibe here is basically that this is a very premium stick with one really glaring flaw that I personally do not think that I will be able to get over. This feels, I don't like using the word dangerous, but it feels like you're gambling a little. This isn't just a broken port. This feels almost like having the C port that breaks really easy, but it's hanging out here. Like, it's just kind of out here extra. Like, it won't just break because you're being a little weird with it when you're plugging it in. This is just out here, kind of just doing the thing. Like, I don't know what happens if I, like, damage this USB port. Like, if I sit on it or step on it or, like, bend it weird. I don't know what you do about it because it's attached. It's in there. I guess I could send it back to the manufacturer if I still have it under warranty. But, like, I couldn't, it doesn't seem like I could just buy a new cord. I'm feeling kind of brutally disappointed right now because this is maybe the most amazing feeling stick I have ever held. I love the weight. The size is almost perfect. The buttons feel awesome. Personally, I like having an external program to adjust things. There's literally a system in there where I can drag and drop what buttons are where. That is awesome. But all of that awesome is destroyed for me because of this cord. I am feeling like crushingly disappointed because this, like, I have a hard time playing on stick. If you guys don't know me, I have broken my wrist multiple times. So if I play on stick for too long, my arm just starts to hurt. This made me want to play on stick more than ever. Like, I have not felt the urge to play on stick again like this in a long time. And this cord is just cramping the style. I am pretty sure the more I'm sitting here and talking, I'm going to attempt to do a mod to put this cord away somewhere. I think the long short of this review is that I love this stick and I hate this wire. I have a few other like little nitpicks, like with that little plastic tab on the back, but genuinely, this might be my favorite stick I've ever touched. And then this guy was there. People from Varmilo, if you're watching this, you have a phenomenal design idea. I love this stick and everything that it is. But if you plan to iterate on this, you need to change your wire setup. You need to make it so that it has a detachable wire that can also be stored on the stick, kind of like you did with the joystick itself. You have such a good design going on here, and I can't believe that you decided to do this with the cord. I love how much came in the box. I know some of the stuff that I got was like Evo extras, but the strap, the ball top, the couple extra buttons, all that stuff comes naturally with everything. The Zodiac buttons, the Chinese character buttons, and the poker chip buttons, and the extra 2 ball tops that I got do not come with most models. It just came with this special edition model. But a lot of the stuff that was in there comes with the regular Kassai. This just has so much good going for it. I know I keep saying it. I hate this so much. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. I know I ranted a lot about this wire, but I think this is one of those things that bothers me the most, is when something comes so close to greatness and then just shits the bed at the end. I hate this in TV shows and movies, and apparently I also hate it in arcade sticks. As always, get out there and support your locals, or you can come support mine. Why, Varmilo? Why?